Today, I have a fun lesson for you where we are going to create a work of art inspired by the famous artist Paul Klee. We will be looking at Paul Klee's piece titled Cat and Bird. This work of art was created in 1928 and explored balance and symmetry. What is balance and symmetry? Symmetry, or something that is symmetrical, has design elements that are the same on both sides. When we look at this cat, we can see that the artist drew lines and shapes that are the same on both sides. Balance is when the piece looks and feels as if it has equal parts on both sides. Today we will create our own Paul Klee inspired cat and bird. Before we get started, let's learn a bit about Paul Klee. Paul Klee was born 1879 and lived to 1940. He was a Swiss-born German artist. His highly individual style was influenced by movements in art that included Expressionism, Cubism, and Surrealism. Klee deeply explored color theory, writing about it extensively. His lectures on form and design theory are held to be as important for modern art as Leonardo da Vinci's. He and his colleague, Russian painter Wassily Kandinsky, both taught at the Bauhaus School of Art, Design, and Architecture in Germany. His works reflect his dry humor and his sometimes childlike perspective, his personal moods and beliefs. Okay, so we're going to get started here on our Paul Klee cat and bird. So what you're going to need today to create this project is something to draw with and something to color with. So whatever materials you have at home is fine. I'm going to be using crayons today. A really cool material that we could use is chalk pastel to blend the colors on this cat and bird. But for right now, today we are going to be using crayons. All right, so the first step that we're going to do to create our cat and bird is we are going to make our frame and name. So simply you're going to hold your paper tight. You're going to use your writing utensil and create a straight line. If you want to make a curvy line, that's fine. Rotate your paper. I'm using computer paper. Again, if you have lined paper, that's fine too. All right, so for this project today, I'm going to ask that you please keep your paper in the landscape view. So landscape is the longer sides going left to right, just like so. And then you're gonna write your first and last name at the bottom right and your homeroom number, okay? All right, so let's get started. So the first step that we're going to do is we are going to make 3 dots on our paper, and I am going to show you how this looks. So in the top left corner, a little bit further out from the frame, we are going to make our first dot. At the top right, we are also going to make a dot that comes out just a little bit from our frame, just like we did on the left side, but we're doing it on the right side. At the bottom of our frame, in the very middle, we're going to go up about 1 inch, and we are going to make a dot there. These dots are going to help us as we draw our cat. So the first curved line we're going to make is going to look like the letter L, and that is going to be on the left side. So we are going to curve from the top left dot to the middle bottom dot. So watch me first. I am simply going to make a straight line. It curves down just like so. And again, that looks like the letter L. Now on the right side, I'm going to do the same thing, but it is going to make the letter J. Okay, so it's going to be a similar curve. Remember, we're working with symmetry. So what we do on the left side, we're going to do on the right side and vice versa. So it's going to be the same on both sides. Okay, so you can either start down here and make your letter J and curve up, or you can start up at the top right dot and come down to the middle dot. It's up to you. I'm going to start from the bottom, going to make a curve, and go right up to the top right corner. So now I have the start of the cat's head. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do is I am simply going to make a curve that's going to come down a little bit and come up just like so. So let's take some time right now to make a dot that's a little further down from the top. So I know I could make my curve go that way. So I am going to make a curve. And again, this is in the middle area of the paper, right above the bottom dot. And then another curve that goes out to the other side. So now we have the outside line for our cat's head. The next step that we're going to do is we are going to make the eyes. Now I am going to show you how those look. Okay, we are also going to make the nose, and I'm also going to draw that out and show you how that looks. So let's start with the nose first. The nose is going to be a curved line that's going to come down from the bottom area right here in the middle into the top area in the middle. So it is simply going to look almost like a football shape. We're going to curve. Okay, and then on the right side, do the same thing and curve. Take your time. Okay, so now these almost look like raindrops that are intersecting. The next step is we are going to make our eyes, and it's going to be a similar football looking shape as the nose in the middle. And we are going to start from the middle and make a curved, almost like a rainbow shape here, and then do the opposite curved line down below. So I'm going to make a curve, and again, a curve just like so. And on the left side, the same thing. So I am going to make a curved line going up, coming down, and a curved line coming back. Okay? So now we have the start of the eyes for our cat. We can make a similar shape inside of the eyes. So I am going to make the same thing like that football looking shape in the middle of the right eye. I'm also going to do the same thing to the left side. So a curved line, and now we have our cat's eyes. So now we're going to make the snout area of the cat's nose, and to do that, we are going to make almost like a heart shape. Okay, so we're going to make a curve, and then another curve or an arched line just like so, and it kind of looks like a heart, doesn't it? Okay, so far so good. The next step that we're going to do is we are going to give our cat a neck. So from the middle of this curve down here, I'm going to find the middle, I'm going to make a straight line coming down, and it's going to hit the frame. And then in the middle of the curve on the left, I'm also going to make a straight line coming down. So now our cat has a neck. Okay, so let's give our cat some whiskers. Whiskers come off this tip of the nose, and I'm going to make 3 whiskers on the right and 3 on the left because, again, we're practicing symmetry and balance. So I'm going to just curve these out a little bit. 1, 2, 3. And then the same on the left. 1, 2, 3. So now my cat has whiskers. And whiskers actually help cats and dogs and animals in general have good balance. Okay, The next step is we are going to make a little mouth and chin for our cat, and that is simply just a U-shaped curve, just like so, down below. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we are going to do that infamous bird that is right up here where the cat is like above the head right here. Okay, so that's what Paul Klee did. And maybe this cat is thinking about that bird. Maybe it's on the cat's mind is the bird. So we are going to start that right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make that football looking shape right in the middle above the cat's head. So it's a curve almost like a rainbow, and then that U-shaped curve coming down. Okay. The next step is we are going to make a straight line that angles up and comes down. It's going to look like a mountain peak and then come right down. Okay. And then we are going to make a triangle shape for the back tail of the bird. Okay, so the feathers coming off the back. And we are going to make another shape that looks like a football for the head of our bird in the front. The next step is we can make a dot for the eye of our bird, and we are going to put a circle above the bird right here. Okay? All right, so now that we've drawn out our Paul Klee inspired cat and bird, we can start to add some color. So this is when it gets really fun. So you can go ahead and color in your Paul Klee cats how you'd like. I'm going to put some examples up here on the screen. I am going to be using yellow, orange, purple, and I'm going to show you how this looks. I'm going to use a little bit of green in the eye as well, and I'm going to pull out some black for the eye too. So I am excited to see how yours come out. If we used pastel like I told you about, you could blend a little bit your colors together using your finger, which is a pretty cool technique. So I'm going to speed this up and show you how mine comes out, and I can't wait to see yours. I just wanted to show you something quickly that I thought was pretty neat. So if you wanted to, you could blend some of your colors on top of each other. So in this cat right now, I am going to go off the original picture that Paul Klee created, and I'm going to blend some orange in the cheeks. And I'm just gonna go over the yellow just like he did in his picture. And I'm going up and down because that's the same direction that he went in. I'm just slightly blending it. And if you are using pastels, you can always put some orange on top of the yellow. You can use your finger to blend it, okay? You can even try and do it with the crayons. You might get some neat effects doing that. And I see some orange down here, and I'm just going based off of his picture. If you wanted to blend other colors, you could try that as well. So I'm gonna be doing that throughout my picture, is just layering some colors on top of each other. Remember, this picture is very symmetrical, so whatever I'm doing on the right side or the left side, I'm doing as well on the opposite side, okay? Okay, so that is how I colored in my Paul Klee inspired cat and bird. I decided to do my background a little more fun. I put multiple colors, I kind of blocked them off. You can do that if you want. If you want just one plain color, you can do that. So I can't wait to see how your cat and birds come out. And I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I look forward to next week's lesson with you.